What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down how you guys can run a perfect slant route versus an inside shade press coverage DB. So we're going to be showing a bad example of the slant route first and what you guys should not do on this, and then we're going to show a good example of the slant route and how you guys can create as much separation as possible. So I hope this video helps you guys out, but also, fellas, if you're a wide receiver and you want a complete off-season workout plan with over 500 wide receiver gym and on-field training exercises and drills, check out that very first link in the description below for our ultimate 8-week wide receiver workout plan. It's a combination of all the gym exercises and on-field drills wide receivers should do daily basis with sets, reps, and examples of each drill and exercise. So if that interests you, fellas, check out that very first link in the description below. Let's get started with this video. So anytime that we have an inside shade guy, right? What's his whole purpose being inside shade? His purpose to be inside shade is to protect the inside. He does not want to let you run the slant. He does not want to let you take the inside release and run a dig, run a post. So what we have to do as a wide receiver is I want to threaten him to that outside shoulder. He will not give up the inside. So I'm going to play this thing full speed. So this wide receiver does a little hesitation move, takes 3 steps, but they're choppy steps. And that's the key that is going to get you guys locked up every single time you try to run this slant, is not threatening enough vertical. So what a lot of wide receivers will think, and this wide receiver had the right idea, but what a lot of wide receivers will think is that, oh, this DB's inside shade, but I got to run a slant. So, and I have a little bit of cushion. I have about 2 to 3 yards. So what they'll want to do is they'll want to angle their stem. They'll like attack him, try to attack his midline, if you will, and then break right off in front of him. Now, the only issue with that is we distinguish this in the very first part of this clip. This DB does not want to give up the inside. So if you try to attack his leverage and try to like square him up, as they say, he's just going to keep his leverage inside, and you're going to end up running that slant right into him. Or if you try to force the slant underneath, he's going to get hands and squeeze you all the way to the inside of the field. Now, in one-on-ones, that might work, but in a real game, the spacing is going to be off, and you might even run into your lineman. So we cannot force the release. You have to attack him where he wants us to go to try to flip his hips, make him think vertical. Now, when it comes to selling vertical, he's looking for 2 things. He's looking at your pad level, and he's trying to match your speed and stride. So a lot of wide receivers will do this. They'll come off, and they think they're selling vertical, but they try to be too fast. Maybe they try to rush the move, whatever it is, and they take choppy steps. Now, nobody runs a fade with choppy steps. When you run a fade, you are striding out. You are trying to beat this guy over the top. It's almost like you were chasing a football that is overthrown. So that's how we have to make this cut look. This DB will sit every single time if you chop your feet. You guys probably all saw that clip of Justin Jefferson at like the Under Armour All-American, like whether there's a camp or a combine. He was talking about top of the route, how when you take choppy steps leading into a break, all that does is just put an indicator to the DB, and that DB is going to sit. Same idea on this. When you guys take choppy steps right here, this DB will not flip his hips. He is not threatened by the vertical simply because A, we are not running hard enough, but B, we are not selling the route. Now, not to mention his hips and shoulders are starting to turn out of there just a little bit too early. You got to commit hips, you got to commit shoulders, but more importantly, you have to commit your speed and stride to get this guy to flip. Now, we're going to play this full speed, then we're going to show a good example of this and how you guys can avoid taking those choppy steps and having that DB lock you up. So now, this clip right here, this is a great example of this diamond and what you would want to do. So it's kind of the same scenario, right? Inside shade coverage, we got about 2 to 3 yards off, but this wide receiver does a great job of threatening vertical and making it look like a fade with his speed and with his stride. So let's play this thing full speed. So he comes off, 1, 2, 3, gets that DB to fully commit those hips, and that's easy work on the slant. So again, you see, he doesn't square him up and then try to cut in front of his face. He attacks the outside shoulder. But this is the technique that we want to use. So he comes off the line, hesitates a bit. Now watch the 3 steps that he takes. 1, 2, 3. Those are all in full stride, and there is no short choppiness about his stride. And not to mention his hips and shoulders, fully committed to that fade. Because a DB in man coverage, he's watching your hips, fellas. He is not looking at your eyes. He is damn near not looking at your feet. He is trying to match speed and stride, and he is trying to get any kind of tell from your body language. So if you commit to it, fellas, and you actually run, and you're able to cut in stride, that is what will get him to flip every single time. Everything about this looks like he is running a fade. His head is down. He's in a good pad level. His hips and shoulders are committed. He's actually running. All of those things are what tie into getting a DB to open up that gate and getting him to commit to the fade. So when you guys want to run that perfect slant against inside shade, you have to do this. You have to take full strides, you have to actually run hard, and you have to keep your pad level in a good spot. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by this wide receiver, pushing vertical, making it look like a fade, and getting that DB to open his hips. All right, fellas, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. We always appreciate the feedback. It's always great to hear from you guys as usual. And again, fellas, if you'd like a combo 8-week wide receiver gym and on-field training schedule with the exact sets, reps, workout splits, and examples of each drill and exercise, check out that very first link in the description below. I'll see you guys next time.